The vitamin that could rewind your heart's age by 10 years, and the secret your soul has been whispering all along. Start video with this. Doctors have known this for over 70 years, but it's been buried under pharmaceutical profits. This one vitamin could literally keep your arteries from turning to stone. The whispers of your soul led you here. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be. This vitamin may extend the life of your heart by 10 years. Type "I'm ready" if your soul brought you here. The moment of reckoning. You're sitting in silence. Not just any silence, but the kind that thunders. That deep, echoing stillness that hums in your chest like a question you don't want to answer. And then it happens, your body whispers something your mind has been ignoring for years. Your chest tightens for just a second. Your breath shortens on the stairs. The mirror reflects someone a little more tired than yesterday. That's not just age. That's not just stress. That might be the first quiet tap of a heart asking for help. And what if I told you that there's a simple nutrient, almost forgotten, that can turn back your heart's biological clock by 10 years? Enter vitamin K2, the silent guardian. In a world flooded with miracle supplements and magic pills, vitamin K2 has remained largely in the shadows, until now. Vitamin K2 is not the same as K1, which helps with blood clotting. K2 plays a different, shocking role. It tells your body where to put calcium. When you don't get enough, your calcium may harden your arteries instead of strengthening your bones. That's right, a lack of K2 turns your arteries into stone. Studies from the Netherlands have shown that people with the highest intake of K2 had a 50% lower risk of dying from heart disease. Half. Imagine your heart running like it did 10 years ago. More flexible. More vibrant. More alive. Type K2 is the key if you're shocked by this. The food lie you've been federal. Here's the cruel trick. We've been told we get enough K2 from leafy greens. That's K1, not K2. Vitamin K2 isn't in spinach. It's in fermented foods, organ meats, and certain cheeses, foods most people avoid. So when your doctor tells you, your cholesterol's fine, or you're aging normally, they're not checking the real threat: calcium loading in your arteries, a silent killer. And guess what? Calcium supplements without K2 could actually be increasing your risk of heart disease. Let that sink in. What you thought was helping your bones might be aging your heart. Type "That's wild" if you had no idea. What the research really says. Let's talk science, not just scare tactics. A landmark study known as the Rotterdam Study followed thousands of people for over 10 years. It concluded that higher intakes of K2 were associated with lower risk of arterial calcification, lower risk of coronary heart disease, Lower all-cause mortality. Another study out of Japan, where natto, a high K2 fermented food, is common, shows drastically lower rates of arterial stiffness. The numbers don't lie. But most medical professionals don't test for K2 levels. Because there's no patent. No billion-dollar pill. Just truth that lives in food and nature. Type "Where do I get K2" if you're ready to add it to your life. If you've ever lost someone suddenly to a heart attack, this may have been why. Not cholesterol. Not obesity. But calcium in the wrong place. The real cause of sudden heart attacks. Imagine this. A healthy, fit man in his 40s. Eats clean. Jogging daily. Smiles often. Dead of a heart attack one morning. What do the autopsies show? Calcium plaques in his arteries. Hardening that didn't show up on cholesterol tests. Not inflammation. Not diet. Mineral misplacement. And it's happening silently in millions of bodies right now. Now imagine if vitamin K2 had been part of his daily intake. He might have seen his grandchildren. This is not drama, it's fact. Problem isn't just bad food. It's good nutrients going to the wrong places. Type "This hit me hard" if this reminded you of someone. K2 and the soul. Let's zoom out for a moment. The body is wise. Your soul is wiser. Your heart is more than muscle, it's a memory keeper. A vibration reader. A compass. And when your soul brings you to knowledge like this, it's not random. You've likely been feeling off. Not sick, but not you. More fatigued. Less hopeful. More stuck. That isn't just stress. That might be energetic stagnation in the body. And K2 is a nutrient that unlocks flow. Physically and emotionally. When calcium is in the wrong places, things get rigid. Not just arteries, your life. Correcting it isn't just health. It's alignment. Type "I feel this deeply" if your soul knows this is about more than vitamins. Where to find vitamin K2 naturally? Now for the practical. Best natural sources of K2. Natto, Japanese fermented soybeans, highest natural source. Grass-fed cheese, especially Gouda and Brie. Egg yolks, pasture-raised. Butter from grass-fed cows. Chicken liver. Fermented dairy like kefir. Not vegan-friendly, unfortunately, but supplementation is an option. Look for -7 Malawian kwaches, a form of K2 that stays in your bloodstream longer than others. Dosage? Most benefits observed with 100 to 200 mg/day. But speak with your doctor, especially if you're on blood thinners. Type "I'm adding K2 today" if you're ready to shift. K2 and bone health, bonus power. Here's the twist. What's good for your heart is also saving your bones. K2 activates osteocalcin, a protein that tells your body to bind calcium to your skeleton, not your arteries. In women especially, post-menopause, K2 is crucial. It's like a traffic cop for calcium. Not in the arteries. Yes to the bones. And yet, we're still told to take calcium and vitamin D, without K2. That's like fueling a car without checking if the brakes work. Emotional metaphors hidden in K2. Here's something you've never heard from a doctor. Your health reflects your inner landscape. Calcium without K2? It's like holding on to love, but forgetting where to give it. It builds up. In the wrong places. It hardens what should remain soft. K2 is forgiveness in nutrient form. It allows your heart to stay open, pliable, flexible. The way it was before grief hardened it. Before betrayal stiffened your rhythm. It's physical, yes. But it's also metaphysical. You are not meant to calcify. Type "this resonates" if this hit you deeper than science. How to know if you're deficient. No standard test. No loud symptoms, until it's too late. But the silent signs include stiff joints. Early signs of arterial plaque. High calcium intake with no K2 balance. Osteopenia or weak bones. Poor dental health. Gum disease. A family history of early heart attacks. If any of this sounds familiar, you may want to consider K2. Type "I see the signs" if this opened your eyes. Your new morning routine. Wake up. Hydrate. Breathe. And take vitamin D3 with K2. Magnesium. A 10-minute morning walk to move your lymphatic system. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right few things consistently. If your heart could speak, it wouldn't ask for a pill. It would ask for rhythm. Movement. Breath. Flow. K2 is part of that. Type "I'm building this routine" if this feels right. Final words. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you love. The person you save might never know it was you, but you'll know. And if you're ready to learn more about natural longevity, soul level healing, and living life fully, subscribe and follow for the next video. The organ that knows when you're lying to yourself, and how to heal it.